Greetings, everyone! I am Lunar Kitten Zero, and I have a little treat for you guys today. I have taken part 1 and part 2 of every Space Marine Legion in a nutshell by Bricky and smashed them together into one full reaction. If you have been watching any of my 40k videos, you will have been aware that I've done this in the past. That one ended up being like 9 hours long. This one won't be nowhere near as long, but I know a lot of you guys say you like to listen to this while you're painting or doing other things, painting minis, putting them together, doing chores around the house. So I thought, you know what, I've been meaning to put these two together, so what better time than now? And I'm not going to spend any more time yapping. I think it's time to get into the reaction.
To the people on the internet,
Okay.
the time has come. The reckoning begins.
All right.
Your boy got himself a shaker cup.
Oh. Well, this is a good way to start the video.
After many
I
months
like the art.
of shilling gamer subs like mad, my favorite thing to do, we have ourselves a goddamn shaker cup. It's here, the official
you know what? I don't
Bricky
even care for the cup.
shaker cup.
I really do like the art.
Here, if it's not great at focusing, I'm sure there'll be a thing in the background. Skater, put a thing in the background.
Oh, dude, that is awesome.
Hair, absolutely.
Yeah, long white hair.
More toned, abs. Obviously, bikini, hit it, legally distinct mark on the face. Of course, she wants you to do the diddle thing, maybe, but most likely to serve in a glorious army. Legally
You know what? It's
distinct,
fine. I love this.
I think
it's
so.
good.
The Bricky Shaker Cup is available now, and you should
Yes.
get it while it is hot. But if you're thinking, Bricky, what should I put in this? Well, how about my top 10 favorite gamer subs flavors from number 1
I'm still
to
thinking
number
about the
10.
art.
All of them incredible, but listed
And I love that the
regardless,
number 1 is
and
black
an
cherry.
addendum for
Nice.
those that are caffeine free. This shaker cup is available now in the description of this video. You may use code Bricky as well at
this is
checkout
good.
to get a discount on your order. A massive
This is
amount
how we
of
started in
profits
the last
goes
Bricky
to
video.
yours truly. And
That
a
one had
huge
abs.
Thank you to Gamer Subs for sponsoring.
This
and
one has a
for
bikini.
getting me
It's even
this
better.
beautiful, beautiful cup. Go out there and get it. I'm gonna take one more sip for the camera, slow it down, throw some sexy music in there,
Oh.
and I'll see you guys soon.
Smooth jazz. Can't go wrong.
Hello everybody, my name is Bricky,
That was
currently
good.
stuck in the walls of the most prodigious school in the Imperium by punishment for falling asleep during class. God bless the Schola Progenium. Many of you have come across my Every Faction Explained video. Firstly, thank you. Secondly, we are here to dig a little deeper. Space Marines are the quintessential poster boys of Warhammer 40,000. When people think 40k, they think Space Marines, but there are many types of Space Marines, formed from 20 separate legions. We are going to rattle them off in order and give you a quick rundown of each one. A disclaimer, like in my Every Faction Explained video, this is a mix of accuracy and memes. If I say the Salamander's Legion specializes in hugging children and petting puppies, they aren't exactly doing that, mostly.
I don't know. Holding the white kitty I was kind of fine with that.
But you can infer that they care about civilians and are a bit kinder than the average Space Marine. A Space Marine
I like that picture.
being a
Hold on. I gotta, no, I gotta go back. That is cute. I mean, the cat one, I'm trying really hard not to go back to the holding the kitty, but I like this art. This is really, really nice. And she's got like some kind of little doll. One kid's barefoot. Okay. And who did he say these were? Did he say the salamanders? I think he might have. I forget who he said. But okay, so he will meme a bit and he will maybe exaggerate, like just to let us know they're a little nicer. Not like super nice, like, you know, holding a balloon and skipping through a meadow. Maybe they will. I don't know. They might. But to help understand, I'm getting really distracted by the artwork. This is really good. It makes me want to draw more Warhammer art. I will control myself. But yeah, I just wanted to stop and talk about this picture. I this is really nice. I like it.
And are a bit kinder than the average Space Marine. A Space Marine being a genetically modified super soldier that's had 1,000,000 new and terrifying organs shoved into them, refrigerators strapped to their bodies, and are so far above the average human that they are referred to as demigods instead. Each Space Marine has a father, unlike you, a Primarch, which is basically an even bigger Space Marine that was forged in a lab by the God Emperor of Mankind, that gigantic golden dude you see everywhere, who is both the leader and now the martyr of humanity. The Primarchs are his 20 sons, built in a lab, who lead
Now, I notice here he says 20, but in other videos, like the Re-Explain, he says the 18. So I'm assuming this is from the thing you guys were telling me in the comments about their... I've heard two different things, and I don't know if they're the same story, but one is that there was 2 more, but they were erased from history. Actually, I was told 3 things. One is they were erased, wiped from history. Nobody's supposed to know about them. Second is that this was the company's way of having it where you could make your own factions and stuff for the Warhammer universe. And then the other one is that those 2 were twins that had a lot of stuff that happened. I don't know which one's true, because again, I'm picking this up out of comments, and I don't know who's accurate in comments and who's not. And there's so much lore, theory crafting, I could be mixing them all together. So I just find it interesting he is mentioning all 20 instead of saying 18. And also, again, look at the art back there. That is so nice. I have not learned all of the Primarchs yet. I only know a few. I know Sanguinius, of course. I know Russ because I did draw his chibi as well. I know Conrad for the Night Lords. I almost said Dark Angels. I'm getting better at this. For the Night Lords. So I do know at least 3 Primarchs I can name off the top of my head. Oh, and of course, Horus. But I don't... I may take issue with talking about Horus. It's just, I may be dressed like a Sister of Battle, but inside, I'm a Blood Angel girl, and we have things. I side with my Blood Angels brothers, and I'm not having the Black Rage, but yeah, I have anger towards that guy, and I know already. I know you're about to type. I know you're going to the comments and you're ready to type. You probably already did before I finished this. I know Horus had reasons. I read them, and I understand his point of view. So don't try to defend him to me. I just like picking on him. Plus, still, he killed my guy. Reasons or not. But we'll continue.
20 legions of Space Marines who are their sons, not from a lab, but rather a dissection table, giving them the powers and skills of their associated Primarch via a gene seed, a special organ carrying the genetic makeup of their Primarch and, their seed. So if Jedi Khan of the White Scars has the genetic makeup that wants him to go really, really fast, then his sons, the Space Marines, also want to go really, really fast.
Nice.
I should note that I am only referring to the legions this time around. If you're interested in sub-factions like, let's say, the Black Templars, then it's not going to be here. However, I do have a excellent Black Templar video. I'd argue it's probably the most accurate one I can think of. It goes through the whole lore, everything about them. It's a very long video, and I'll put it in the description. Just look up Black Templar video in the description.
I drew Eva as one of those.
And now, with the
Wally.
easy explanation out of the way, let us begin with our first legion.
Okay. Oh, Dark Angels. Yay. Okay.
Dark Angels. Allegiance? Loyal. Primarch Lion L. Johnston, a duelist, a knight, A real asshole, I'm not gonna lie. The single word descriptor, paranoid. The Dark Angels are our first legion, hailing from the death world known as Caliban. Their Primarch, Lion L. Johnson, is what happens when you try to make the side profile Chad meme into a genuine character. He is a master tier duelist, a brilliant strategist, and an overall dick. There are few situations he isn't prepared for, and few fights he isn't ready to lead head on.
Okay, gotta back up. Couple of things. One, again, artwork and the armor. Look at that. So awesome. Especially the lion. Okay, and number two, couple thoughts. One is, I hope he explains why he's a jerk. I'm very curious. Second, does he really have a pet lion that's some kind of alien lion? You guys can't see it because I'm in the way. I'm kind of like blocking part of it. But yeah. Does he actually have a kitty? Because I mean, even if I actually can't argue this now. I was gonna say, even if he has a cat, you know, even if he's a jerk, he has a cat. But then I thought, well, cats are kind of jerks, so it's kind of fitting, right? So I can't actually argue this one now. Have you guys met cats? They can love you, but they can be little jerks too. I'm not saying that because I recently had my own cats be kind of a jerk. No, it's totally not it. But just had to take a moment to talk about that armor. Also question whether or not he has an alien cat lion, because if he does, does he take it in battle? Does it wear armor? I'm going to go old school real quick, real fast. I just had a mental image of two different cats from cartoons, and one was He-Man's cat. If you guys know, you know. And number two, I for some reason started thinking about the Thundercats. And I was just like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm alright. My brain just will pull information and be like, hey, you know this cartoon you saw this one time? Here's that information. But so I'm really curious. Why is he the jerk one? Is it just an attitude thing, or is like maybe he's gone through some stuff? I know each Primarch grew up on their own world because they got basically kicked across the universe when they were still in the tubes, so to speak. And some of them grew up good, some of them grew up not so good. So maybe he grew up in a not so good, but then again, maybe it was good and he's just arrogant jerk. I really don't know. Let's continue and find out. Hopefully Bricky will explain that and tell me why he's kind of a jerk. I mean, he's got a kitty. I'm not trying to be biased, but he has a kitty. And I'm kind of digging the whole lion motif.
Situations he isn't prepared for, and few fights he isn't ready to lead head on. This makes the Dark Angels have a very Knights of the Round Table vibe. They look like the knights of old with these large suits of power armor, often donning robes and hoods. Their names also follow this. They have like Ezekiel, Azrael, Belial, Samuel, and so on. However, the common thing associated with Dark Angels are the Fallen, a part of their faction that turned traitor against the Imperium, and they are very heavily trying to expunge all knowledge of them from existence. Fallen? What Fallen? Never heard of any Fallen. Do you know about the Fallen? We're gonna take you away and mind probe you to make sure you have never heard of the Fallen and definitely don't.
Oh, wow. Okay, there was so many art here that he went through, and I'm sorry to back this up again, but there was one that really got my attention. Where was it?
Azrael, Belial, Samuel, and so on. However, the common thing associated with Dark Angels are the Fallen, a part of their faction that turned traitor against the Imperium, and they are very heavily trying to expunge all knowledge of them from existence. Fallen?
That one. That was the one I was looking for. Okay, I like this. I have a thing about armor and cloth. I think it is such a cool combination. Not only that, the darkness, the gothic kind of feel of it. You got that skeleton on the front that looks like it's like he was running so fast he hit an enemy. The enemy's corpse became part of his armor. That is what I'm seeing when I look at this, and I'm kind of like, that's kind of cool. Like so fast that all was left to us is the imprint of his bones on his armor. That's actually kind of cool. These I've never heard of the Fallen. This is the first time I heard about them. So they're a sub group or a group that broke off from the Dark Angels and turned against the Empire, and now they're trying to basically my brain's trying to wander off. Men in Black you, kind of like, you know, erase your memories. You saw nothing. It never happened. Jedi mind tricked you. These are not the Space Marines you were looking for. That sort of thing. But I had to take a moment to talk about that art. There's so much. You got like this one.
What Fallen? Never heard of it.
Another one right here. Oh, that one even has the now, when I was trying to draw a bit of Dark Angel thing, I noticed what I thought was a lamp, and then I found out it was some type of like incense burner. Like it's a thing that, you know, is incense burner is the only thing I can call it. I know it has another word, but brain won't work. But yeah, that they actually carry it, which works with the whole kind of religious vibe they got going. And I'm just getting distracted by the amount of skulls. Like, my brain is just going, that's a lot of skulls. It's just like when they were making his armor, like, how many little skulls do you want? Yes. And they just put them wherever they could. And to be honest, it looks really good. And it goes great with the mask. Now, I'm not a fan of green. I'm just not. But I'll give it to Warhammer. They keep showing me stuff with green that I'm like, alright. Fine, I can like this, even if it hits green. Because it just looks really good. And this looks really good.
Any Fallen? Do you know about the Fallen? We're gonna take you away and mind probe you to make sure you have never heard of the Fallen. They definitely don't exist, and if they do exist, which they don't, we will find them even though they don't exist. They love their interrogations. They thrive in—
Wait. Why is he dragging that guy? They do that to other Space Marines too? That picture surprises me. If that's canon stuff, you guys gotta explain in the comments this one, because that's very interesting. And I'm wondering, like, what did you do that you're getting dragged like a kid, you know, like by the back of your shirt? It's just like, oh, you're getting interrogated. Or, you know. Yeah, interrogated. What was I was going to say negotiate. That's not the word. That broke my brain. I did not expect to see this image. So, okay.
Lionel Johnson is a scorched earth policy sometimes, and it's given to his sons in force, which makes sense considering that when the Lion heard of a Chaos Primarch on a homeworld different Primarch, whose mom was there, he was like, let's nuke it. The Dark Angels are a special group where they formulate themselves into 3 different factions. The Deathwing Terminators, slow-moving, tough phalanx. The Raven Wing, fast jet bikes and flyers. And the Green Wing, which is your standard Marines. They are a jack of all trades, but not in the sense where they're good at everything, but rather they have a lot of things that are good at specific things. Like, instead of 20 people that have a multi-tool, they instead have 20 people with gigantic power tools for every job imaginable. If you like being suspicious about everyone and everything in your surroundings, but you also like to have a whole lot of deep night type lore, run the Dark Angels.
Okay, so before he continues here, what I'm getting from the Dark Angels is paranoid, nuke everything. Their leader's a jerk. They have a you don't remember them, but they totally don't exist. They do exist, don't exist. Branch, or not a branch, a group that pulled away from them called the Fallen, I think. And then the Dark Angels themselves are into 3 little groups. You got the Green, the Raven, and I forgot what the first one was. Okay, so that's everything I picked up from that. But the biggest thing I'm pulling away is this sounds like a legion for me with my anxiety and worrying. Except add with anxiety scorch earth. To be honest, sometimes when you have anxiety, that's the best thing to do. Is like, I don't know where the spider went. Let's just nuke the entire room. And I don't mean actually nuke it. You just go and get bug stuff to make the spider go away. But side tangent, yes, I'm afraid of spiders. And I know somebody probably just grinned, because I bet you there's something spider related in Warhammer, isn't there? Don't worry, I'm not scared of the images on the screen. I just don't like them in real life to touch me. They could be on the screen, that's fine. Just don't be real and don't touch me. But side tangent aside, so this has been interesting about the angels here, because I really didn't know that much about them, and I had only seen their artwork because I wanted to draw one. I'm gonna have to make notes of the legions that catch my attention, because I really like to deep dive more into the ones that grab my attention, like the blood angels. Now it's an angel thing. I'm not biased, I swear. Okay, I like wings, but all right. Dark angels, night and blood angels. Okay, anything with wings. Might as well just add the night lords in there too, because bat wings. Everything wings, just go ahead, go into the pile of me having to go down that rabbit hole and learn more about them. But he didn't mention it. I wonder why the guy's a jerk. Is it an egotistical thing? Just that's who he is? Or did stuff happen to make him that way? I mean, military fighting would make you tougher, I guess. I'm just really curious as why he's the jerk. Not that I expect everybody to be Mr. Nice Guy. Just, I'm curious. Like, you know, his backstory. But, let's continue.
The One Piece! The One Piece is real!
Our second legion is a special one.
Oh. Oh.
If you can see, yeah.
Emperor's Children. Okay, I've heard of this before.
11.
The Emperor's Children. Allegiance, traitor.
Oh.
Primarch, Fulgrim, a perfectionist, an artist, a sneaky snaky snake, and the single word.
Hold up. You know, if you showed me this picture and said, do you think this guy is with the Emperor or a traitor? I'll tell you right now. Immediately would say traitor. For a couple of reasons. Not just because of the fabulous purple, because maybe, you know, some just wants to look great. It's you guys can't see it. If you ever go watch this video, behind my character, or behind my avatar, on his knee, there's a little white mask. And that little white mask immediately made me think of the Eldar. And the Harlequin people as well. But I remember Slaanesh. And I associate Slaanesh with purple and that mask. Maybe that's wrong of me to do, but that is what I think of. And I immediately looked at this and went, you work with, like, Slaanesh, you're like bad guy, right? And if he doesn't work with Slaanesh, he's missing an opportunity, because his colors scream Slaanesh to me. I don't know why I associate Slaanesh with purple, but I do. Okay, so let's back this up a bit. Emperor's Children, the second legion he covers, even though it says third. And I forget. Let's hear again who their Primarch is. That's a traitor here.
11.
The Emperor's Children. Allegiance, traitor. Primarch, Fulgrim, a
Fulgrim.
perfectionist,
Okay, Fulgrim.
an artist, a sneaky snaky snake, and the single word descriptor, perfection. The Emperor's children are all about the pursuit of perfection. Perfection in all they do. Perfection in war, in artistry,
See,
and
they're all
perfection
about the fabulous
in every
armor.
other aspect of life. Their armor is a gleaming pink, purple, and gold. Their ships have spires of gorgeous marble and gold statues in their honor. Fulgrim is a man who believes the pursuit of perfection is the goal of all things, and I mean, look at him! Can you truly tell me that he is not perfect? The hair, the features. As Primarchs go, he is the one you look at, and if 40k had a guy that would give you the best sex you've ever had and never call you back, this is the fucking guy.
Okay. Okay. So, processing again. They're all about perfection. But for some reason, in that perfection, see, this is why. I say for some reason, but no, I understand now. For anybody who plays video games, or even MMOs, yes, those are still games, but you'll understand in a minute. How many of you out there, the end game, the goal of that game is to look as badass as possible. It is all about the glamour, all about the fashion. I know Dark Soul players have been called fashion souls before. I've never got to play Dark Souls, but I've heard that term. 14, Final Fantasy 14, everybody always says the end game is glamour. That is, I got a nickname among my guildmates sometimes as Glamour Queen, because I just will look at pieces and know what they're from and immediately like spend 2 hours trying to make the perfect outfit. Yeah, so I can relate, oddly, to these guys. Not only that, he just said that they're perfection in everything they do. The joke aside there of, best night of your life and he never calls you. Though I'm just sitting there thinking, well, that's probably really accurate, the perfectionist. But I'm just thinking of militarily how that must work, because they must have crazy good aim. Their weapons, their ships, everything must be just perfectly functioning. Like I said, great aim. I'm wondering how they handle mistakes. I'm wondering if they are very, very harsh when it comes to mistakes. Like the pressure they put on themselves for perfection, if that has really bad repercussions. Like it comes back on them. And I love the fact that in the pursuit of their perfection, their Primarch was like, well, obviously everything has to be in pink and purple. Or purple, gold. My brain wants to say pink. But it has to be in this fabulous style. And being that they are made from their Primarch, they're all like, yes, we all agree. Must look this beautiful. They're definitely not trying to be stealthy. You will see that ship coming. You will see them coming. And that could be used to their advantage. I mean, it is a disadvantage, but I'm sure they found ways to also use it to their advantage. But, yeah, I'm curious. I don't know if Bricky's going to talk about it, but I'm really wondering how they handle mistakes. How harsh they come down on it. Being that this is 40k, I'm expecting some serious, like, punishment for messing up. Like, it's just not tolerated. Or, I know some of you might say, well, no, they're so perfect they never make a mistake. Well, that's not true, because then you just use them to win a war. Oh, wait, they're the bad guys. Okay, then they would win. Because they're traitors. And I know some of you who plays the, quote, traitor groups are going to say, we're not the bad guys. I'm just repeating what he said. I'm not saying you are. But you might be. Let's continue.
Which is why this pursuit of decadence led them to the evils of chaos. Yes, Emperor's children are our first Chaos Legion, and not just a normal one. One devoted to, you guessed it, Slaanesh.
I called it. Ha! I'm sorry. I feel really proud of myself for this one, because I knew those colors. That's the Laneige. It screams it. Even look at this artwork, which again is beautiful. And by the way, I will explain it for anybody also still new to my videos. I reference Laneige as female. I know Laneige can be anything, but every time I see artwork, 9 times out of 10, it looks like a chick. I call it a chick. But this artwork, I'm sorry, I'm distracted. You know, Slanesh, as messed up as it is, does have the most interesting artwork. That, the colors, the pink, the purple, they really bring your eye to it. Forces you to focus. And also the glow. Ah, beautiful touch. But what is really getting me is the wings with the eyes on it. Of just like it's watching you. And I like that. It almost has that insanity feel to it. A lot of old games I've played used to use imagery like those eyes like that to help really sell the twisted nature of something, the insanity of it. There's a very, very old game called Sanitarium. It doesn't use the eyes, but it is about like sanity, and the guy gets teleported to, well, what looks like he's teleported to a very twisted carnival. So I'm used to the flip-flop of imagery here of like, here in this world, look how crazy things look. In reality, it looks like this, and over here, it looks like this. You're probably wondering why I went down that tangent. It's because we just saw them on the battlefield. And the battlefield, as screwed up as it looks, is reality to them. And then you see here the warp and Slanesh. And you got these down at her feet, these demonic creatures. You got these wings with eyes on it. It's just, it's another form of reality that's twisted and warped. And that's why I was thinking of that game, Sanitarium, because same thing, reality twisting and warping, and then you come back to reality. So I love the switching here, but I am going back on topic, which is, I knew it. I knew they were with Slanesh, so I feel proud that I learned something, and I called it with Slanesh. We're gonna continue.
The Prince of Pleasure, God of unspeakable excess. The Emperor's children in their pursuit are now horrifyingly mutated beings through Slanesh's great will. They torture and maim to feel perfection through pain. They screech and attack with sonic weaponry for perfection through sound. And they slaughter, aiming for perfection in war. Fulgrim himself lost the battle against Slanesh as a demon sword corrupted his mind and transformed him into the sexy man he was, into the sexy snake he is now.
Oh, he's a snake?
Demon.
A what? He's a demon prince snake. Well, I didn't see that one coming. That one got me. I should have known, because I was just talking about the warping of reality and everything, and I forgot that Slanesh, when you get corrupted by these gods, your body changes, like we saw with the other Chaos Marines when we were watching the re-explain videos, how their armor and stuff would take on the different Chaos gods. Like, I'm still remembering the one for Nurgle with the belly mouth. That armor just will haunt me forever. This, though, it really makes me think of a lot of sneak people in MMOs. Like, this is the boss. Like, you go in the boss room, you see this, and you're like, oh no. This is going to be a fight. So, also, I noticed, he said he was corrupted by a sword. Now, I'm sure he's not going to go in too much detail for that, but where did he get the sword? How did he get the sword? That's questions I have. I'm going to guess, and I think I might have been told this and forgot, but it's either a guess or me just faintly remembering. But I think it was given to him maybe by a Chaos God or somebody who's a follower of one. And him not knowing used it and it corrupted him. I think that's how it went. I might be getting a little bit confused here, but it's interesting that the children became this way because, well, he went down first. Because if I remember correctly, if your Primarch gets corrupted, it corrupts the group, the Legion, right? Or am I getting that confused? Like, if the Primarch corrupts, it doesn't mean the whole group does. But I'm going to assume it does, because if he likes to go fast, they all go fast. If he wants to worship chaos gods, you worship chaos gods. At least that's how I'm understanding this.
Primarch corrupted and bringing his legion's will by himself. As far as Emperor's children go, they are some bad people. They do horrible things to anyone and everything. In fact, they're such trolls that their battle cry is for the Emperor, despite being horribly mutated and corrupted. If you've ever taken a little too much of a drug, or maybe the music at a concert was too loud and you didn't bring any earplugs, or whatever the reason, you just take all those things and you dial it and you dial it and you twist it and the knob breaks. And that is the Emperor's children.
Okay. Iron Warriors? Never heard of them.
And we have killed him.
The Iron Warriors. Allegiance, traitor. Primarch, Perturabo, a warlord, a siege smith, an incel. Single word descriptor, siege. Continuing the trend of our Chaos Legions, we have the Iron Warriors led by Primarch Perturabo of Olympia. To understand the Iron Warriors, though, one must first understand Perturabo. A man so bitter coffee beans run for light. A man who hates the world and everyone in it, who never got recognition for his deeds, who hates his brothers and hates their accomplishments.
Excuse me? Excuse me. I don't know if you guys can see who he's supposed to be hating here. It's fine. We don't like you either. Just hating because he's beautiful. That's what it is. And he's got fab wings. That's what it is. Just jealousy. But anyways, we're going to continue.
Even more. Someone so laughably petty, so incredibly bitter that he goes full circle to becoming likable. Why? Because he's competent. The Horus Heresy. We didn't talk about the Horus Heresy. Intermission.
Okay.
So Horus was the Emperor's favorite son, right? You know, so the Emperor walked into his room. Horus
yeah, we
said,
know who Horus is.
I just gifted 150 subs to Amaranth, and she said my name a ton, and she loved me for it. I really think that I might get to meet her one day. And it kind of played out something like this.
Your feelings for her are not real. They are real to me!
And then it started playing out a little bit more like this.
Let the seas boil. Let the stars fall. So it takes the last drop of my blood.
Yeah. So Iron Warriors, the Horus Heresy wouldn't have gotten shit done without Peter Turbo. Imagine an entire faction that is the personification of brutal industrialism, where you serve the Legion until your dying breath. You build and you kill and you siege and you kill and you literally summon demons just to take them and trap them in machines and use them as cannon fodder. This is a thing they do. They summon demons to trap and use as shock troops.
Okay. I think I've heard about this because I remember from our re-explain videos the giant knights being having demons in them to pilot, to drive it, and the demons were trapped and forced in there. I can't remember what the name was. I don't think that was the Iron Warriors, was it? If it was, my memory is really bad. See, some things stick in there really well and some things that don't, but I do remember the giant robots with the demons in it because I just thought that's actually a clever use of the demons. I mean, it's bad use because you shouldn't use demons because it runs a risk of corrupting you in the process, but it's just making use of a resource. And if you treat demons like a resource, then is it really bad? It probably is. I'm just saying. But so what I'm getting from these guys is they're like the blacksmiths. The forge, the machine behind the power of the Horus Heresy, it sounds like. And they, you need it, they build it. And they even took demons, put them in machines, and used them as ammo. And like warhounds, like just go forth and eat things, robotic demon dog. You know, that's how I see it in my head. I don't know why I don't remember the Iron Warriors. If they were said in the re-explains, it must have been really quick, because the name doesn't even like trigger anything in my head. It's going to now. I feel like they might be a little overlooked because I've literally not recalled them being mentioned. But it's definitely interesting.
Iron Warriors are siege warfare incarnate. They are heavy weapons, they are tanks, they are turrets, and they don't die. They hate Imperials, they hate Imperial fists.
Do you need a pacifier, Iron Baby? No! No, I don't!
They are bitter incarnate. Perturabo and the Iron Warriors don't serve the Chaos Gods because they like them. They serve them because fuck you.
Come on, guys, let's go.
Not another speeding ticket. I'll fight it
The
in
White
court, but I don't think they're
Scars?
gonna accept gotta go fast as a medical condition.
The White Scars.
Oh, I like the armor.
Loyalist. Primarch, Jagatai Khan.
Oh, he's
a
cool.
Speed demon, a plain strider, a roast god. Single word descriptor, speed. Hailing from Chagoris. The White Scars are all about speed. They love melee, but they love it even more when they are doing it from a motorcycle or land speeder. Or honestly, just running really damn fast. The White Scars are honestly forgotten about a lot, and that's lore accurate. They are a legion that doesn't seek the recognition.
They're so fast that you can't remember them. That's what I'm getting. Also, the eagle on the shoulder. Look at this picture. This is beautiful. And they get motorcycles. By the looks of it, I want a space motorcycle. I'm kind of a sucker for those. That's why I have like so many of them in Final Fantasy XIV, including Cloud's bike, because you gotta have Cloud's bike. And it's the one from Advent Children. But I don't remember hearing about them. I think my friend might have mentioned them once. But the whole gotta go fast thing, they get from their Primarch, which by the way, that Primarch looked really cool. Now I'm just like, so they're the Sonic group, but it's kind of sad that they're forgotten because they look really, really cool. I like the lightning bolt, which really works because that has a reference to speed, but it also makes me think the Flash from the comics. So, all right, they're interesting to look at. I keep staring at the picture. There's so much. Every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, there's like some kind of seals on that sword and on the bike. I wonder what they're for. And if you guys know why they have those on the bike and the weapon, let me know. Because I'm curious why they have them. I know why the sister battles make them, because somebody in the comment explained very well to me why they have those seals. But is it the same for the White Scars? And does any other legion use these seals? I'm now getting very curious the more and more I see these seals around.
Or glory from the combat they engage in. They engage in it because it is their duty and because they love it. Not in the insane slaughter enjoyment of loving it, but in the thrill of the fight. They are known as the laughing killers because they ride into battle with a smile on their face and a chuckle in their throat. And as you can tell by their Primarch's name, they are Mongolian based. Remove horses and replace them with motorcycles and land spears, and that's your style. They are heavily based on the old times of Genghis Khan, and consider this is 40k and everybody's evil. You know, that fits. The White Scars are actually physical scars on their body, going back to their heritage on Chagoris. The Khan himself is kind of a dickhead, but a reasonable one. He thinks ahead, he's intelligent.
He is awesome looking. Dude, look at that picture. With the sun back there. And I love the bird. The bird is really nice. I like this. This is really good. head looks a little small to the body, but you know, it's just very big armor. So when they said, and this is the big thing that popped in my head, is that they smile when they go into battle, I immediately thought I would love to see them fight the orcs, because the orcs are very happy to fight. These guys are happy to fight. That would just be a clash of people being really happy to beat the crap out of each other. And I find that entertaining. And really, really cool that I kind of want to see it. But, yeah, so they're happy when they fight. The joy of battle, I guess.
He's patient. He is often underestimated because he doesn't scream his accomplishments from the rooftops, which is what makes him and the White Scars dangerous. His skills are kept at bay, only to be truly shown when the time is needed. The White Scars are a forgotten legion often, but that doesn't diminish their accomplishments. All it does is surprise those who underestimate them. Speed, awesome Mongolian vibe they got going on, and if you really like to stab people, that's the White Scars for you.
Okay.
Shameless thirst break.
This is Dog.
Woof,
My
woof,
friend's
woof.
favorite.
Woof, bitch.
The Space Wolves.
Puppies.
Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Leman Russ. A Viking, a Savage, the Undertaker. Single word descriptor, wolf, 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 wolf,
Yeah.
wolf. There's so many goddamn wolf units. Skater, how many units in the Space Wolves Codex have the word wolf in their name?
Oh.
The Space Wolves are the 6th Legion and hail from Fenris, a frozen wasteland of a world with their Primarch, Leman Russ. I don't really need to spend a whole lot of time talking about the Space Wolves because it's very obvious who they are. They are the second most, obvious what their shtick is legion in the 20 legions. Besides
Okay, back up. Do they actually ride wolves? Now, see, my friends told me some things about the Space Wolves, but I never asked too much for details because I'm doing these videos, so I try not to spoil. But do they? And are they ever armored wolves? Because if so, I need to see art of this. I want to see it. Now, I do have a chibi, Russ, with the little wolf. I do not have him out right now because Sanguinius, okay, Sanguinius is my bias, and that's the one I go to defaultly. But, I now need to know, do they ride wolves, and are they armored? And are armored with, guns strapped to the side, too, because that would be really cool. And 13 units have wolves in their names. No wonder I get confused. But at least now it's drilled into my head. This is the one my friend likes because of Russ. Russ is the only reason I remember which legion is which.
second most obvious what their shtick is legion in the 20 legions besides the World Eaters. When you look at the Space Wolves behind, what do you see? Do you see Vikings in space? You've done it. Congratulations, you have found Vikings in space. But they have as much in common with a regular Marine as an all-day Viking with a Roman soldier. You see, as a Space Marine, your body is so enhanced that you filter out poison, and so you can't get drunk. The Space Wolves distill a special mead out of a horrible poisonous plant that would kill a normal human so they could get drunk. They have fangs in their mouths. They sometimes cannibalize their enemies. Sometimes they eat people because they gain knowledge about them from there and about battle plans. The Space Wolves are savages. They're raiders. They're Vikings. But despite all of this, they are loyal to their core. Leman Russ is an egotistical guy who just shouts stories and tales of his accomplishments everywhere they can. But at the same time, he was so damn loyal that instead of gunning down his foes, he hit him with a fucking backbreaker to show his devotion to wrestling. If you want Vikings in space, you found it. Play the Vikings in space.
Okay.
We're gonna build the wall. We have no choice.
Imperial
we have
Fist.
no choice.
Okay.
Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall.
The Imperial Fists. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Rogel Dorn. A builder, a phalanx, and he needs a hand. Single word descriptor, fortify. The Imperial Fists are led by Primarch Rogel Dorn on their homeworld of Inuit. However, they themselves are actually a fleet-based chapter, with their main source of recruitment coming from an enormous moon-sized ship called the Phalanx. The Fists are a chapter you think of when you think of duty. They love to serve. The love to serve and the inability to be moved. Rogel Dorn is an architect, a master builder, and basically a rock in brain and body. A lack of humor or ability to lie shows that he is as blunt as the weapons of war he creates. Not the swords he makes, but like blunt, strong weapons. The Fists are the same. Take your archetypical American Marine style look, a buzz cut, a hard sense of duty, and then throw in some power armor and a love for building defenses, and you have the Imperial Fists. They are immovable. When you find...
Okay, so the Imperial Fist one, I understand, because he's saying a lot here, and I'm trying to wrap my brain around it. Because I don't think I remember hearing this mentioned either. They're no-nonsense, serious, extremely loyal group that has a ship in space that's how they recruit and do all their things. And they're all about, I guess, keeping the enemy out. That's why they're very what's the word? Build the wall, kind of like a fortification. That's the word. Fortifiers. They stop stuff from getting to where it's supposed to be. Sorry, the picture distracted me because I'm like, that is definitely protecting that little dude. And that's a very, very big guy. So, and so their Primarch, serious, can't lie, and doesn't take a joke. He sort of makes me think of, I guess the closest equivalent I could get would be Guardians of the Galaxy Drax, I think's his name. He doesn't get into windows and stuff. I'm sure this guy, maybe he does, but it just sounds like that type of no nonsense, very serious type of character. Interesting.
Spot, they're ready to defend. You can't breach them. Their knowledge of defensive warfare is paramount. Without them, the Horus Heresy would have been so much more effective, but thanks to their insane and immovable tenacity, the Imperium lives today. And let's not forget that Iron Warrior and Imperial Fist rivalry. Want to know why the Iron Warriors are so bitter? These guys are the reason why.
Hey, guys! Bring the thing! Where is he going?
Oh.
Hey! Hey, that could have killed me! Hey, guys! We missed! Get another!
Dorn and Perturabo are basically
Okay.
two sides of the same coin. One is just a bit more level-headed and got better jobs. If you want to be defensive, to be good at everything Space Marines are good at, bolters, heavy weapons, vehicles, you want a classic military fighting force, start fisting.
I am having
Okay.
a very
Oh.
bad day. This
Night Lords.
today is one of the worst days.
Oh boy. Oh boy, here we go. The Night Lords.
Alrighty, I'm excited. Look at the armor with the bat wings. I'm a sucker for anything goth. We all know this. I mean, look at my black and red Sister of Battles outfit to know that I was ready for this. I'm already just looking at this picture and just I'm so happy. I'm with Bricky on this excitement. And also look at the skull mask with the fangs. The whole vampire motif just okay, I'm fine. I'm not falling in love with the Night Lord. Who am I kidding? Of course I am. It's vampire themed, and I also think Conrad's adorable, and that's why I fell in love with Sanguinius. I'm not betraying Sanguinius. Just I'm a girl who just likes what I like, and I love the gothic nature of this. This is so awesome. And you got that lightning in the background. You got like that gothic cathedral looking shape in the background as well, and then you got like these bats flying right over Bricky's shoulder. Ah, I love it.
Allegiance, heretic. Primarch,
Yeah.
Conrad Kurz, a sadist, a vigilante, depresso espresso. Single word, fear. The Night Lords are my favorite legion, hailing from Nostromo and their Primarch, Conrad Kurz. They are a traitor legion from a planet known as the Sunless World. Or
Oh, look at that city. Black city with the red neon. Oh, good art visual of just conveying this darkness and night kind of feel. Oh, I love it. Just had to take a moment. That was, I like this.
the world of endless night. Nostromo is a horrible hive city that is known for being host to some of the worst gang violence, murder, and working conditions around. The only thing keeping the population in check is the suicide rate. The Night Lords followed in the footsteps of their Primarch, a man who believed in a twisted sense of justice and that the only way to make humans compliant is through fear. The Legion's lesson has been lost on them, as their ranks were repopulated by gang members, murderers, arsonists, torturers, and other words I can't say on YouTube, as young as 12 years old. Murderers before they were even teenagers, raised to become demigods. Now, fear is what they sow and flesh is what they reap. The Night Lords are scum. They are the exact opposite of all other legions. They torture and they maim and they flay because they think it's fun. They run away often so they can come back and kill you with more numbers. They prey on the innocent and the weak. They kill normal civilians because it's easy and flee any battle where they don't possess overwhelming odds. They are the antithesis of normal space marines. They are scum. One time, a world did not comply to their demands, so they raided one of their ships and brought it into atmosphere. The crowds cheered and clapped as it appears that they had won the battle, and the airlocks opened and the skinned and flayed bodies of the crew were thrown down in the populace. In other
Okay, I'm gonna admit that's for a tactic. That's an effective tactic, and it makes me laugh. I don't know. It's just because maybe I read a lot of vampire stuff, and vampires will do very, very horrific things too. That I'm just over here like, yeah, that fits. That really, really fits with the vibe, with the whole feel of the vamp thing. And just those people did not enjoy the rain that day. No.
words,
Yes, I was thinking that.
a legion of gangers and criminals. Add together a heavy Slavic influence to them, and you've got my favorite faction.
You have not done.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Now we're hitting it. Now this will be the last one, and then we'll have to like just. I need a break, but I mean, Night Lords are great. And before we go into this, because I don't know if you can tell, I'm excited for what's going up. But I am. But I gotta talk about the Night Lords. I did not know much about the Night Lords. To be honest, that was everything I just learned about them. Pretty much just happened just now. What made me like the Night Lords was just aesthetics. I like the look. I like the way that the Primarch looks. I like what's a vampire motif? How can I not? Just little bits and pieces. Now that I've heard more about how they are, it does not sway me at all. If anything, it just sounds like, okay, yeah, if this was how a vampire group would make themselves, yeah, the closest I could get is I've been playing, if you guys haven't checked it out, check it out, Vampires the Masquerade, Bloodlines, and they have the different clans, and there is a group called Sabbat. This makes me think of the Sabbats. That's what Night Lords make me think of, because they will take pretty much, I think they pretty much take anybody. I think they recruit mainly like gang members too. And they will pretty much like knock you on the head. If you like come to and survive, you might not even realize you've been turned into a vampire. And it's like, good luck. If you survive, awesome. If not, we'll just go make another guy. It's not a big deal to us. So that's the kind of the feel I get with the Night Lords. So maybe that's why they don't shock me too much. But it's fitting. It makes a lot of sense, and I'm happy I got to learn more about them because I really love their style. And now we get to talk about Sanguinius. Look, it's your turn. Yeah, all right, I'm good. I can be calm for this. I swear.
Done the dishes for 5 years. So embarrassed when people come over here.
What does it matter? You bring them over, you kill them. Vampires don't do dishes.
The Blood Angels. Allegiance, loyal. Primarch, Sanguinius. An angel, a vampire, a dead-ass motherfucker. Single word descriptor.
Why you gotta bring that up? Why you gotta bring that up? Like, why'd you have to bring up he's dead? It just, you could have left that part out. But it's alright. It's alright. Still awesome. I'm good.
Blood. The Blood Angels are 9th Legion, hailing from the homeworld of Baal, with their Primarch, Sanguinius. The Blood Angels are a tragic...
Oh my god, look at that art. And look at that armor. And the face mask and the symbol behind the head, the halo. And you got the wings. Oh, I am loving all of this so much right now. And you got the pelt. I think this is of the white cat that I heard Sanguinius defeated on his world. I don't know the story fully. I know somebody in the comments was explaining it to me, but I can't remember it fully right now. But oh, and he's carrying a flaming sword, so it almost has that biblical sense with, the angel and the flaming sword. Love it. Love it. Love it all. It's beautiful.
Hail with one of the best Primarchs, one beloved by almost everybody.
Yes.
A genuine angelic figure who led his people to glory, killed by the hands of the traitor Horus before the Emperor's eyes. The death of their Primarch led the entire Legion to madness as their gene seed malfunctioned and created something known as the Black Rage.
Which
the
I was totally not
Angels
having.
degrade over time, experiences something called the Red Thirst, which gives them a genuine vampiric thirst for blood. As their minds degrade and break down, they get angrier and angrier, becoming berserk killing machines with no other goal than to tear everything in sight apart. But they don't see it as that. They see themselves there, at their Primarch's demise, with Horus in sight. And to them, it's time for vengeance.
Yes.
That Space Marine over there, that Chaos Space Marine,
that's Horus. Yep.
Kill him. That Orc War Boss over there, Horus. Kill him. That Tyranid Swarm, 1,000 Horuses. Horai. Kill them all. Did your toast come out a little bit burnt? Horus sabotaged your toaster. Destroy the toaster. Destroy it.
Yes.
Do it.
Have
Kill
to.
your toaster. Do it. This slow, debilitating disease takes over the Blood Angels, and it gives them this angelic, vampire, and Catholic-inspired imagery. They have chalices of blood. They rest in coffins and can even use psychic powers to sprout angel wings from their bodies. They are a tragedy through and through, and the only thing that will look more tragic are the mangled bodies of those they come in contact with.
I got a diesel engine, and honey, we forgot to mention, we're gonna take your job away.
The Iron Hands. Allegiance, loyalist.
Okay.
Primarch, Ferrus Manus, a machinist, an inventor, and not a great head on his shoulders.
I'm gonna
Single
take it.
word?
He was beheaded.
Bionics.
Oh.
The Iron Hands are from the home planet of Medusa and their Primarch, Ferrus Manus. Does Ferrus Manus have an iron hand? You fucking know he's got an iron hand.
Oh.
The Iron Hands believe that the flesh is weakness. But despite all of their enhancements, despite all the things that made them demigods, replacing some of the flesh with bionics will allow...
Okay, a couple of things. One, I know I've been learning that the Primarchs, the legions take on their Primarchs behavior and stuff. So I'm gonna assume they all have iron hands, which is why they're called iron hands, right? I'm gonna guess. And so bionics, so they're like cyborgs. What makes them different than the, what are they called? The robot guys from Mars. Oh, why can I not remember? I want to say machine. Machine's not the word. And I want to say Mechatron, but that's not the word. Mechacrons? You know, the robot guys from Mars. Why can I not say these names today? I'm assuming they don't go. They keep some sort of themselves, so that's why they're more like cyborg. I'm just curious what makes them different than the guys on Mars, because they both, you know, seem to be replacing themselves with machine. Also, before we even just keep going here, is I had to take a moment and look at this artwork. Dude, that is awesome. I am a sucker for a black and white picture. You got a beautiful black and white picture here. That red in the eye is just, that one drop of color really just makes a bold statement in this, and I love it. You got that white lightning too, and that's just even better. I've been learning a lot about these, I think they're called purity seals, or, you know, the oath seals, or I think I've heard a couple of different ways people have said it in the comments, but that is just awesome. He's got like, I think about 6 of them. No, wait, there's more, about 8 from just glancing. But yeah, I've been trying to dab around with black and white drawings. They're not as easy as they look. Trying to do shades just using black and white it sounds easier than it is, but trying to get that lighting and that just right darkness where you can still make it out, but you can still tell it's in darkness it's tricky. Because you don't want to go too dark, then you can't see any of the drawing, but you don't want to be too light or it doesn't look like it's in the shadows. So it's very tricky. But this right here really makes me think of, oh, what's that movie? Sin City, I believe it's called, which was like black and white, but you had those pops of color that really just drew your eye. And not only that, was just really, I don't know what it is. It's just pleasing to look at. And this, I like this. It's pleasing to me. That drop of red, just, I don't know. It just such a bold statement to me. It's just like that, because it could be anger. It could be a sign of life. It's just, it's really good. But yeah. So getting back to the Iron Hands, I'm going to assume they all have an iron hand. If he has an iron hand, they all have to have it. So I'm going to go with cyborg.
Allow them to serve the Emperor more. They go hard into vehicles and dreadnoughts. Dreadnoughts being giant walking sarcophagi that have wounded space marines piloting them from the inside. Vehicles.
Oh, okay. See, you guys have been telling me to check out stuff about dreadnoughts. So the wounded iron hands go into the dreadnoughts to pilot them. That's kind of like a mixed bag towards how I feel, because on one hand I'm like, oh well, okay, makes sense. You know, the wounded soldier still has a purpose and they can go and help fight. At the same time, you're wounded and you're still being made to fight. That kind of sucks. But hey, it's the universe of 40K, so that's the world they live in. Everything kind of sucks. But it's fun for us who's reading it and watching it. Giant tanks. I know you guys have been telling me a lot about the machinery that they have. I'm still wrapping my brain around a lot of this tech and everything, so I am really still a baby when it comes to understanding the military aspects of the depth of this army. Like, these tanks, I can't take for granted and just be like, oh, it's a tank. No, I saw the Sister of Battles tanks. I'm not gonna be fooled. They look like tanks, but they are way stronger than, you know, quote, normal tanks. And that one in this picture behind me looks like it's got, I don't know if that's a shield or a plow on the front, and it's got like a circle, so it's like a cannon. I mean, I know they have cannons, but this is like the big cannon. So yeah, a lot there.
Metal upgrades. These are the
Oh,
things
okay.
that make up this legion. Their tech marines have servo arms sticking out from all directions. They have a
Oh.
wide array of mechanics and extremely often replace limbs with metal ones, serving all kinds of different functions to deal with their enemies. The Iron Hands are also not particularly nice. They're kind of assholes. I mean, marines are already normally pretty big assholes, but they're a little bit up there because of their flesh, civilians made of flesh, because you see, the flesh is weak. Flesh is corruptible. Bionics, the strength of the machine is pure and cannot so easily be corrupted. So if you want people who have this little techno fetishistic vibe to them, that love their vehicles and their walking coffins, hit up the Iron Hands.
Okay, so dreadnoughts is where people call those the walking coffins. I heard somebody say walking coffins before, and I did not understand, so now I kind of get it. So, again, what are they called? I see the word in my head. Why can I not pronounce it? I can't remember the word. The guys from Mars that are robots-ish. What is the difference between these two? Please let me know in the comments, because they sound very familiar, and I'm going to guess because the Iron Hands are more bionic, where the other ones are way more machine, and also I'm sure they serve two different things, obviously, but they do sound similar. Maybe it's because my brain is just like robot. But then again, if I did that, I would have to say they're also similar to the Necrons. But the difference is the Necrons, they didn't expect to be a soulless robot, so that was different. Yeah, so he didn't go into too much detail with them. It felt like that was awful quick. I know it's supposed to be in a nutshell. I just a little bit more info on them, because I'm a little curious about how they are different than all I can think of is the Mars race. But and also, do they have all have an iron hand? Do they, if the Primarch has it, I'm assuming they do, so let me know in the comments if they do, because I found that kind of interesting. And also, if you guys like that black and white artwork like I did, because I love that. I thought it was just freaking awesome.
Understand, Commander, I was never here.
Legion 11.
Okay. What?
Why, hello there.
What was that? All right.
I have returned from touching grass.
Oh.
I know. I'm pretty cool with the grass touching him. Now let's continue our Warhammer lecture.
This ruffles my jammies.
Okay, hold up. Before we get to the World Eaters, he's done this before. He did this previously when he was doing the numbers, and I thought it was just, I was counting wrong. No, this was his purpose skip. Why did he skip 11? Is these... See, maybe I've been under the wrong idea of something here, and you guys all have to tell me. I thought when there were 20, groups, quote, 18, that the two that were missing or might not exist or whatever were 19 and 20, the end of the numbers. But as I learned with the gods and their little divine numbering system, that threw me all off. I'm going to start to guess that I'm way wrong about what numbers are gone. Because by the sound of it, 11 is definitely not there. Or is it there and he just didn't want to talk about it? I just want to take it that it's not there. So let me know, because the counting thing has now really kind of broke my brain a bit again. And you know how I am. I get hung up on something, and that's where my brain stays. And I'm not going to do that here. I'm just curious about it, because I thought 19 and 20 would be the missing numbers, but he did it before, and now he did it again, and that's not 19 and 20. So why is it these numbers in the counting randomly vanished? I guess we're not supposed to know, because it's supposed to be something so terrible that they are erased from history, but I have a feeling you guys have theories, or you can clarify why I'm so confused here. So feel free again to comment. I appreciate it. But let's continue with the World Eaters.
Okay, so what's going on here? I am a super sandwich!
The World Eaters. Allegiance, Heretic. Primarch, Angron. A butcher.
Oh, angry.
A
Okay.
slaughterer.
Like extremely, earth-shatteringly, unreasonably fuck-ass mad.
Single word descriptor, anger. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Are you mad? Do you just fucking hate everything? Do you want to murder everything in sight and
anger,
get rewarded
anger.
for doing so? Then you
Horus,
should
I
join the
mean,
World Eaters. Home planet of Nuceria and...
Okay. Dude, this picture. Just the coloring, the lighting, the sky, splash of blood. How can you not? I mean, wow. And you guys can't see him because me and Sanguinius is blocking it, but behind me is the actual Primarch. I think I'm gonna try. His name is Angron. I'm just gonna call him Angry. So what I'm getting is they're all about the rage. I'm assuming it's not gonna be like Sanguinius and the Blood Angels, not like we go into rage mode and you have to put us down because everything turned into Horus mode. No, that's at least what I'm assuming.
Primarch Angron, who, if the name didn't suggest, is real fucking angry. Angron was raised a slave, forced to fight in gladiator pits. When he refused, they shoved old world tech into his brain, so that if he ever felt any emotion other than anger, it caused him extreme pain. All his sons, wanting to be like their dad, also put a version of these nails in their brain. So now you have an entire legion who literally feel unimaginable pain if they are feeling any emotion other than anger. Slap them with a freight train of armor, 2 goddamn chainsaw axes, and you can see what's gonna happen.
Okay. So, a couple things. One is, I remember him from a previous video. I didn't recognize him because I was used to the ball-headedness. I didn't expect all the little, as he put it, nails in the head, so that kind of threw me off. What I remember about him was, if I'm right, he was a slave on the planet, like you said, gladiator, and that he was ready to, I think they were fighting for freedom or something, and he was ready to die along his friends, and he gets teleported off, and his friends don't, and they die. And when he comes back, they were mad at him because it looked like he was a coward and ran off, and of course that made him angry. I can understand why Angron is angry. And the fact that they're made to feel nothing but anger, and all of them, you know, mimicking the Primarch is like that, it screams Incredible Hulk to me. Like, you know, that line which is, the secret is I'm always angry. That's them. Also, I'm distracted because I can't stop looking at the armor. I also notice he's wearing a symbol. Who's that? That's Korn, I believe, symbol. It's on his knee by the looks of it. It's definitely on that skull. So I'm going to start taking it that some of these, I think they're called Chaos Legions, if I'm learning this correctly, always follow a god. I don't think I've seen anything that's not following a god. So this one is definitely words. Corn. Okay. And then that means he would be into the whole Corn was murder, right? And war. Cause yeah, I remember what the other ones are. So okay, yeah. So all about the war, and so anger. Yeah, I could see that fitting in. Like the picture though. That's really a great picture. I love the red armor with that bronze kind of color. Yeah, I'm loving that.
It's no wonder they're corrupted by Corn. They're honestly
it's Corn.
a surprisingly sad legion that I actually screwed up in assuming that they were all just angry murderers. I mean, they are, but they didn't start out that way. Their Corn corruption degraded their intelligence, their free will, and made powerful warriors into arguably even more powerful warriors, but blunt, like frothing at the mouth psycho warriors. The World Eaters.
Oh, okay. So one, I was right, Corn. Second is, so they're kind of like just drooling brutes of pure rage, if I'm understanding it. I don't know if that's still a Hawk-like behavior, because, I mean, it depends on your iteration of the Hawk. The movies ones show Hawk having sometimes enough intelligence to be reasonable. So I guess that's up for debate, but there's that symbol again right there on the chest. Yeah, I mean, you have this berserker-like guy in armor foaming at the mouth, looking the way that one picture looked. Not only is that the embodiment of rage, but that is definitely the, oh god, I don't want to mess with that. So I would not want to see fighting these guys on the battlefield. No.
Like I mentioned, the Space Wolves, they wear their concept on their sleeve. They are angry. They want to kill things. They want to kill you and maybe some of their friends. And that's the faction. They're red. They're mad. They're going to run at you and cause death. If you like that, you play the World Eaters. Or you like it because they were, you know, at one point a lot better than that. Most of Warhammer was a lot better than that. I was once a lot better than that. That was when I was in college.
Flashback.
I didn't finish college, and neither did Angron.
That's why he angry. Oh! Okay, so Ultramarines. Now, Ultramarines I know for a couple of reasons. One, shout out to my friend who's watching. Look, it's your guys. This is one of his favorite legions. He has a couple, but I know this is like up there. So I know a little bit because of him. But I kept getting them confused because for some reason I thought Ultramarines were just Space Marines and that like Blood Angels were just, you know, Blood Angels. I didn't know Blood Angels were, quote, Space Marines. I was really getting that whole system mixed up. The naming convention really had me thrown off for a while, so that I get it now, but at the time I was really mixed up. I think my poor friend had to spend like a half hour trying to wrap my brain around it because I was just confusing myself into a circle that I don't even think he knows how I got there, and was just trying to unravel the mess that was my brain. Okay, so yeah, what I know about the Ultramarines is they're the blue guys. Like, I call them the poster child. The very first armors, and I think even to this day, the very first armors, everything I draw is always these guys, because I love it. And they have that U symbol on their shoulder, which I mistakenly thought was, I was confusing it with some astrological symbol. I swear it's because I watched too much Sailor Moon back in the day, so my brain was just like, it's a sailor symbol. That's, okay, now that's a crossover I didn't think about. Now I am, and I'm laughing, because we always wondered who Sailor Earth was, and what if that's just an Ultramarine. I'm fine. I won't draw it. I kind of want to, but I would not do that. Though now I'm picturing all the Sailor Scouts, and then there's just the Marine there, and all the armor. I'm okay. But yeah, I love their design, and drawing them was so fun. So I am excited to learn about them, especially since this is my friend's favorite, well, one of his favorites, and you know, he's given me some ideas, so I'm not too much, because as you can tell, I don't even know their Primarch's name. At least I can't think of it right now. I might actually know it and forgot, because I'm a ditz. Goldfish brain, I tell you. So we're gonna jump into this. I'm excited for this one.
Hail, Caesar. If it's not done by sunrise, I'll cut your balls off.
The Ultramarines. Allegiance, loyalist. Primarch, Rabute
Rabute, okay.
That's how it's said. An analyst, a
Rub the booty.
diplomat, a blueberry boy scout. Single word descriptor, duty. When you see Space Marines on a box or just Space Marines in promotional material, notice how they are always colored blue. These are the blue Space Marines. These ones here, the Ultramarines, who hail from the world of Macrog with their Primarch, Rabute Gorilla Man. Ultramarines are the white bread of Space Marines, the grilled chicken with salt and pepper. This is by no means an insult. They are plain Jane, but that's also because they are so goddamn good at their job. Their skill for warfare is paramount, but so is their ability for leadership. Gilliman for a while was a damn boring Primarch for all the reasons.
Oh, okay. He's the guy with the laurels in his hair. I've seen the artwork before. So what I'm understanding is they're the best way I can explain it is they're like the Captain Americas. Like, the thing about Captain America, or at least in the movies and stuff I've come to understand, is he's the morally perfect kind of guy. And I'm not saying Ultramarines are morally perfect, but they do have the perfection part of, like, Captain America. And some people would consider it bland because of the perfection and the squeaky clean look. I mean, it's not like they're being Tony Stark, which is complete opposite of Captain America. So these guys may seem boring, but they're really, really good at their job, like you said, perfection. So I'm guessing that's gotta have a downside, because if you're seeking perfection, I mean, they can't win every time, obviously. So I'm assuming they take losses and things like that really hard. I love the eagles. I'm sorry, I got distracted by the eagle on his shoulder. Oh, that is so good. I love this art. This is actually, I'm a sucker for shiny metal armor. And it was when I first drew an Ultramarines armor thing, that was the one thing I was trying to get really well, is that shine that comes on armor, and it's so hard to do. And getting that shine on armor is just so tricky. And seeing it here, it's just perfect on those gold pieces, or brass, whichever. I want to call it gold, might be brass. Either way, love it. And I will never stop in my head calling him Rub That Booty, because it's the way I remember his name.
He was great, because no matter how hard you try, you don't win a war without logistics.
Okay. I'm going to have to let him talk again in a minute, but I thought the last picture was awesome. I'm having an artwork, like, happiness moment here. I love this. That lighting alone is what makes this stand out so dang well. It is just perfect on the head and on the body. And since it's got the laurels, I'm wondering, is that him? Is that Rabute? Does he wear the laurels on his helmet? Because if he does, that's kind of cool. I'm assuming that's not actual plant. That's got to be like metal, because that would burn up real quick in a battle, I would think. Or maybe not. I'm starting to learn that in 40K, things don't always work the exact way you think they would. But, I just noticed also in this picture on his belt, it has the number. So it is 13th. I kind of like that. I like that they got the number of the Legion there. this picture is just awesome. You got that fire. It's really dark at the feet. You got the shadow, that lighting, and again, the subtleness. Now, the shine on the armor is not as shiny as I like to do it, but in this kind of lighting, it works because the lighting is like it's a bit of light just cracking through a roof, like a bit of sunlight coming down, and it wouldn't be that strong to create that much of a reflective shine, but it's enough to just almost give it like a halo effect, and I love it. And I had to take a moment to talk about it because I have no clue what he just said. I'm gonna have to back up because as soon as I saw the artwork, my brain just went into happy mode. And again, there's the eagle. Look at it. It's the back part, which is, now that's interesting because normally you get the those cylinder like backpacks that are, I guess, sometimes jetpacks. So usually that's what I see on the back. So seeing this giant eagle with its wings kind of open is just awesome, and I love it. But let's back up so I can understand what he was talking about because I got distracted by artwork.
For leadership. Gilliman for a while was a damn boring Primarch for all the reasons he was great, because no matter how hard you try, you don't win a war without logistics, without supply lines, without trade routes, without infrastructure and economy. You don't win anything without all that stuff, and Gilliman knows it, which is why he has one of the largest standing empires in the Imperium, named Ultramar, which is why his sons are the most recognizable of all the Space Marines, which is why the only thing that rivals the weight of their victories is the weight of their egos. They are good at everything and bad at nothing. They are great at everything. Other legions can do other things better than them, but they are good at everything. The most interesting thing about the Ultramarines is their characters, as they are all now inflicted with various amounts of ultra depression for many reasons. Gilliman is, at the time of recording, the only playable Primarch currently on the tabletop, and the only one that has returned to the 41st millennium for the Loyalist side. He took one look at what his empire has become and immediately wanted to fucking die. Being forced to lead everything he once hated, an Imperium rotten to its core with his sole responsibility to save it, is kind of what makes him interesting. They are a perfectly standard legion with perfectly standard ideals, and great if you want a simple, clean slate.
Okay, so they're perfect at everything, they're good at everything, and are they in charge of the supply lines? Because he did bring that up. Like, or are they just good at creating supply lines to keep the Empire going? Or the Imperium? Let me know in the comments about that. Because I'm a little curious about how that works. I know my friend is probably like, my time has come. That's interesting. And, you know, it might sound like they're boring, but to me, I kind of like that because sometimes when you play any game, you get a little overwhelmed with the classes, especially the specialized classes. Like, this guy's really good sharpshooter, but he sucks at melee. Or, this guy's really good at, you know, running up and punching something in the face, but he can't shoot a bow. It's really annoying. I mean, it's fun to play them, but they can be really annoying when you're just learning something. So I could see the Ultramarines as a good beginner's thing of like, okay, they're good at everything, so you can kind of get comfortable with playing all this different stuff, and then you can, you know, as you settle in, branch out to more specific things that might interest you, like the ones that are really good at, you know, shooting, or the ones that are really good at, you know, just being raging tanks. The angry ones. The angry ones, that's what I'm probably going to end up calling them. So, yeah, I find them pretty cool. I like well-rounded types. I mean, when I play some RPGs, I'll just pick fighter. Because I want to be able to, you know, defend and attack and not get tore up trying to be the mage who doesn't learn that you can't run up and tank as a mage. Yes, I try to tank with things that I'm not supposed to tank with. Because it's fun. And if I can do it, even more fun. To be honest, all you need is a really good way to keep yourself healed, and you can technically tank anything if you got the health for it. But Yeah, we're gonna keep going. By the looks of it, Death Guard. Okay, I'm calling it right now. Chaos and Nurgle. Come on, that mouth on that thing alone, and I swear I think there's a mouth right there on the stomach. And every time I see a mouth stomach, or a stomach with the mouth on it, all I can think is Nurgle, and I just that image will never leave my mind. And I think I might have heard a little bit about them in a previous video, which might be why I'm confusing them with somebody else. But I remember somebody else's armor being corrupted by Nurgle and having like a mouth. And or maybe that was just Nurgle's legions. I don't know. I just remember thing with mouth and it haunts me. So I'm gonna say the Death Guard here. Nurgle.
Oh, stinky. Funny poop. Poop funny. Woo.
The Death Guard. Allegiance, heretic. Primarch, Mortarian. A reaper, a poison, an ungodly stench. Single word descriptor, rot. The Death Guard hail from Barbaros, with the Primarch Mortarium. The 14th Legion were known for their incredible resilience to damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Where the Imperial Fists were defensive thanks to tactics and posturing, the Death Guard were resilient because they could take a punch or a gut shot or a cannon to the chest and just keep on moving. They are slow, yet they are resistant, which was only confounded as a Death Guard captain, Typhus, codename Dickhead, sold them out to Nurgle, god of rot and decay.
I said it. There it is, too. Nurgle. I knew it was Nurgle. You don't get belly mouth unless you're with Nurgle. Nurgle is like, that's his welcome gift. It's like, oh, you're going to follow me? Welcome. Okay, here's your mouth on your stomach. Now go and be a stuff of nightmares to a cat girl who's I'm going to be one day wishing she had not seen that. Just stuff of nightmares. So they are slow, but they're tanky boys. So they can take a hit, and oh my god, this artwork is really distracting me. I'm assuming this is what happens when Nurgle corrupts them and gets them to just adorn mouths and some types of tentacles to this, which is just horrifying. As creepy and gross as this kind of is, at the same time it's totally awesome. It really takes me to those like comic book monsters that sometimes you would see, like, oh, it's not really like a typical monster, it's just like an amalgamation of monsters, and it's just totally awesome. It's got this eyeball mouth on the shoulder part. That's just really good. The horns too. I just realized there's horns sticking out of this thing. Yeah, I'm sure on the battlefield they're not pleasant to run across. I don't want to be eaten by that belly. Yeah.
Now, the Death Guard are a Nurgle-worshipping infected legion whose ability to feel pain and take damage has all but just gone away. They wade through gunfire, able to kill normal Marines 10 times over and continue unharmed, all while spreading rot and disease in the name of their dark, very stinky master. Where the Death Guard enter, plague spreads. People get sick and they die. They spread debilitating disease to all around them. Why would a legion need to be anything more than very tanky when their enemies are falling over, puking, firing out of both ends, and having their skin peel off just by their presence? Entire worlds infested with a zombie rot, swarms of insects that eat flesh and metal alike, all while the legion advances slowly, painfully, allowing the disease they spread to take its toll before they reap the lives they believe belong to them. And look at Mortarian's model, dude. The man is baller as fuck. A gigantic moth with a gigantic scythe. Come on now. The Death Guard.
Okay. So not only are they slow and tanky, but because of the slow speed and the fact that they are corrupted and following Nurgle, they spread plague and disease, and they're just a walking poison marching across the battlefield. And if it's not killing the land, it's killing even the guys in the armor. I'm going to assume that when some of them are fighting them, that their armor must protect them a little bit from that. Some of the guys, not all of them, obviously, but they're just a walking plague. And it's just like, wow. And then you got their leader, which I forgot the leader's name, the Primarch, but he said a moth. And I saw those gray, like, leathery wings, which, if they're supposed to be moth-like, wings are didn't look like moth wings. It looked like somebody had taken paint and just stretched it out like on a canvas. But I mean, it is artwork, so maybe that's kind of what they did. But that is, out of the Chaos group so far, Death Guard is definitely one you do not want to go up against. Now, I'm wondering how much of a problem would they be against the Tyranid, because the Tyranid are good for destroying the environment too. So I'm wondering what would happen when the Death Guard and Tyranid come face to face. Just, you know, walking plague meets extermination plague. So I just like to think of like battles like that. And now I'm thinking the Nurgle one's got to have a bit of the upper hand until the Tyranid figure out how to counteract it, I guess. But yeah, just, man, your planet is screwed if both of them are on it. Like, at that point, just get off the planet. The second you see the Tyranids, you should have been long gone anyways. But the minute those dudes hit the planet and be like, nope, that's it. Just gonna move. Just pick up. Switch planets. It's not worth it. Alright, so we have the Thousand Suns coming up. And, well, right off the bat, this screams caster. Weird horns coming out of the chest. Questions about that. If they are... I'm going to say it. Even the skin's got like this pink color. Magic, horns. If this is a chaos group, this has got to be Zeech. Because I associate magic mage with Zeech, because I think that's what I learned in the first few Bricky videos. So I'm going to take a quick theory guess right now that the Thousand Suns, some reason, follows Zeech. Oh, he even has a book. You guys can't see it behind me, but he has a book hanging off of his belt. Yeah, definitely a mage type.
For my next trick! I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
The Thousand Suns. Allegiance? Heretic. Primarch? Magnus the Red. A scholar. A sorcerer. A fucking nerd. Single word descriptor? Magic.
Yep,
the Thousand
got it,
Suns
magic.
hail from their homeworld of Prospero, with their Primarch Magnus the Red. The final of our 4 major Chaos God factions, the Thousand Suns are disciples of Zeech, the Changer of Ways.
See, I knew it. I knew it had to be Zeech. As soon as I was like, this guy has horns coming off of him. He looks like he's, you know, the Chaos or, quote, bad guy. I noticed that if they're corrupted by their god, their armor changes. And it has all this weird stuff sticking out of it. So if I see that, then immediately I'm just like, alright, well, you're not the regular Space Marine, like the goody guys. I know there's no good or bad. It's just how I differentiate them. So as soon as I saw that, and then the magic, I knew it had to be Zeech. And I just remember, I think Zeech also, I can speak, also has the Egyptian type thing, because you got the pyramids here in this picture. Even this spellcaster has the scepter and the colors, which is like Pharaoh. I have a lot of love for things, and ancient Egypt stuff is one of them. I actually little nerd lore about me. Back in the day, when I was finishing high school for a brief time, I considered becoming an Egyptologist because I wanted to study the pyramids and mainly hieroglyphics. I wanted to know more about the ancient civilizations, and I did not pursue that, but I did deeply consider it. And now it's just kind of a hobby. I can't read hieroglyphics anymore. I used to be able to. So maybe one day I'll actually get back into it, since that love for it has never really died. I mean, if anything, 40K is bringing out that old little nerd in me who is like, man, I love learning all this additional stuff about groups and societies and how they function, and this is just, this one's scratching the itch right here, especially this aesthetic. It's very nostalgic for me.
Inspired by their Egyptian theming, the Legion themselves are slaves to the god of trickery and change. Most of them no longer even having a physical form, reduced to just dust, piloting suits of armor at the whim of a sorcerer leader. The Thousand Sons do not—
Hold up. We're not gonna just fly past that one. They don't have bodies? They're space dust? Inside of a metal suit that's function. How did that happen? What is the process they used to make that happen? Did Zeech just do that? Or did one of their like top mages turn them into space dust? Somebody explain that. Let me know how the space dust works, cause that is wild. It actually is. It makes me think of enchanted suits of armor you would see moving around. That's what it sounds like, except this one's being piloted by dust. That is trippy. I didn't. That one caught me off guard. I did not expect that. Space dust. Okay. I just learned something new. Again, this is why I shouldn't stop being so surprised by 40K, because 40K takes place in space, and in space anything can happen, as I have learned from Star Trek. So Star Trek prepared me for this, and still I'm being amazed every time 40K is like, yeah, we have space dust and it piles armor. Mind blown. I'm really surprised by that.
Not deserve their fate. There's a common joke that Magnus did nothing wrong. This is untrue. He has done much wrong. However, he is very sympathetic, mainly because the Space Wolves and Lehman Russ sought to end their rivalry through the annihilation of their legion, escaping only through the assistance of the Changer of Ways, and forever changed because of it. Meanwhile, magic is their main tool. Take some Lovecraftian style abilities, the eyes everywhere, and potent spells to be cast at their foes, whether these are bolts of psychic lightning, reversing time itself, opening up portals to unreality, or changing the very fabric of the universe. The Thousand Sons sorcery knows no bounds, and they are very good at it. If you're a fan of like wizards, your classic style of spellcaster, and you want a ton of them, combined with a tragic backstory and a Primarch who, like Mortarion, looks fucking baller.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. The wings, I remember Zeech had a thing about the birds because there was that two-headed bird image that freaked me out, and those wings look like that two-headed bird's wings. So yeah, okay, so a little confusion on my part. So it said the Space Wolves guy was trying to eradicate this legion. I'm assuming because they turned on the Emperor, and their only way to survive was to turn to Zeech, who turned them into what they are now. Let me know if I got that right in the comment. I'm a little confused. But I'm gonna miss the spellcasters. These are pretty cool looking spellcasters. Why is it spellcasters always get the really cool, like, you know, like armor and stuff like this? And they get the cool staffs. I'm just always a bit jealous because it's just like, I'll play like, oh, I'm gonna play a stealthy character. I get boring, you know, leather with no bells and whistles. Why the mage is over there walking around in this ornate rune symbols all over it robe, and I'm like, yeah, that's great. Do you see my brown leather? It's really, really great. But that aside, these guys are interesting, and he has a lot of horns on his body. I cannot unsee that. This little figure, or action figure, what, I'm not sure what you guys call it, statue. Interesting. Also, it looks like he's got some type of eyes on his arm, maybe? That was kind of creepy. It's definitely there on the wings. It's on the belt. Oh, it's even on the legs. Okay, the eyes, the eyes thing's a little creepy, but totally is each. So, okay, but man, I do like the coloring and the look of this.
The 1,000 Suns are for you.
You fucking asshole!
Oh. Oh. So we're here. It's okay. I can breathe. I can be calm. I know many of you will still want to come into the comments and defend your boy Horace. I'm sorry. I don't know why I called him Harris. Horace. Just know I understand Horace's point of view. I just like picking on Horace. My bias is Blood Angels. And I share their black rage once in a while. So when we see Horace, we have strong emotions about that. You know, it's just a little bit of anger. It's okay. It's just a phase, and I get over it. I'm good. But yeah, just to let you guys know, I know you guys will keep saying, get to the Horus Heresy, you'll understand, da-da-da. And I will eventually get to it. For those wondering, yes, I have it on my list of things to check out. I will be getting to the Horus Heresy at some point. But I just like picking on him and, you know, gurring at him because it's just my inner blood angel. It needs to cry out once in a while and unleash this cat of war. It's okay.
What? You're a fucking cheater. You're such a sore loser. You're a cheater. My dad works at Nintendo.
The Sons of Horus, or the Luna Wolves, or the Black Legion. Allegiance? Heretic. Primarch? Horus. A warlord. A treasured friend. Or the traitor himself. Single word descriptor? Assault. The Sons of Horus are the formal name of Horus's legion, hailing from the world of Chthoniya. The Sons of Horus themselves were assault troops. The strength of their attack was some of the most powerful in the legions. While the White Scars may favor speed for their strikes, the Sons of Horus were known for their overall offensive power. It was even said that if the Sons of Horus met the Imperial Fists, they would be at a stalemate for eternity. However, the Sons of Horus are no longer because, well... they are now instead.
That I understood. That was the Emperor saying, you killed my boy, Sanguinius, rest in peace, and now I'm mad, so I'm going to make you not exist. Literally. If anything, that is the straight embodiment of every time you've had a parent that says, I brought you into this world, I can take you out. But in a level that is beyond what they mean. Like, they, you know, take you out like they, oh, you're gone. Your life is over. His is, your life isn't just over, you don't exist. Which I'm assuming is how we get the son of Horus, because I know a lot of people talks about that. And I'm wondering how he ended up with the kid. I'm assuming that's a test tube baby. This picture's really cool though. I'm just like, what got my attention other than just the coloring, the lighting. Again, I'm a sucker for good, vibrant colors like this. And the black armor and the giant claws. This demon there behind Bricky, which kind of has got this lightning thing that's really cool, is this skull thing that he's got on the back. And it's like, there's different skulls. One is definitely an alien skull, but you also have a helmet of a Marine there. I'm assuming that's a Marine's helmet. And I'm just like, wow, you even put the helmet there. This guy's proud of his kills, definitely. It's a really good picture. But yeah, let's continue.
The Black Legion, led by Abaddon the Despoiler, who claims to succeed where his father failed.
Okay,
the Black
so he's
Legion are still an offensive and assault-based force, but they act much like the Ultramarines. But
I know I keep pausing for artwork, but I can't help it. Black and either gold or bronze in the rain with the lightning sword. I have to take a moment just to go, oh, because I like it. I love armor, and this is really nice armor. This is so good. I'm just constantly staring at it right now, just like my eye is just scanning over it. I can see all the little stuff on the inside of the stomach area, in the bend of the arm. Oh, it's so good. And you got that little bit of glow at the tip of the horns. Yep. In the rain, it's just that, because, you know, I keep forgetting that they fight in all types of weather. So seeing this marching through the rain, yeah, real good. I love it.
for chaos. Your standard black and brass space marine who are known for recruiting in all different kinds of avenues. Anyone can become a member of the Black Legion. Anyone can swear allegiance to the War Master. You gain favored by not just one, but all four gods equally. Their famous line, "Let the galaxy burn," is the best way to describe them. It doesn't matter what the outcome is, so long as the Imperium dies, the Black Legion has done its job. They are a legion formed from hatred and spite, with a clear goal in mind, as the Dark Gods are calling, and the Black Legion are sure to answer.
Hello.
Okay, so they're all about getting vengeance for Horus being poofed, by the sounds of it, and anybody, so other Marines by the looks of that, can join up and be part of them. And then I was under the impression that each Chaos group followed a god, but this is the first one where I think we've heard they follow all four. How's that work? Like, wouldn't the gods get kind of jealous of that? Like, oh, you seeing Slaanesh on the side? Fine. See if you get my blessing. You know? To be honest, out of the gods, I could see the three being like, dude, really, Slaanesh? Like, you could just hang with us. Why you gotta go over there? Like, I already had to share you with Zeech and Stomach Man over there, but now I gotta share you with that? That's not even right. Maybe it's because I just assume the gods are petty and don't like to share. So that's interesting. They follow all four. I was just under the impression they would always just follow one. So, okay. This one just, well, I guess if you're going for the annihilation of the Imperium and you're taking anybody, you would take any god as well. So it is very fitting for them now that I think about it more. Okay, I take it back a little bit. I could see why they would do that. If they're going to sign up anybody, you might as well sign up any god as well. Any god that wants to bless you so you can reach your goals, let's do it. Alright, yeah, I get it. So now we got World Bearers. Well, it's a little hard to tell from their picture. They have horns, and usually if I see something with horns, not always, like, they're usually chaos. Do I think they're chaos or not? I'm gonna lean towards chaos. I'm gonna guess chaos. I'm probably wrong, but let's find out.
Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ?
No.
It wasn't fucking optional!
The Word Bearers.
Oh.
Allegiance, heretic.
I was right.
Lorgar Aurelian.
Oh, that guy.
A teacher, a fanatic, a choir boy. Single word descriptor, zeal. If the Black Legion answer the call of the Dark Gods, what if instead you decide to call the gods first? Then the Word Bearers are for you. The 17th Legion, led by Primarch Lorgar on the planet of Colchis.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Originally obsessed with worshiping the Emperor of Mankind as a god, they found that despite his divinity, he was not worthy of worship because, you know, he raised their equivalent of Jerusalem to the ground for daring to worship him. Like, could you imagine if God actually showed up and was just like, Jerusalem is stupid, it just destroyed the whole thing? Like, what would that do to your head? But there are gods that want worship and will reward those who do. The word bearers are chaos worshippers to a T. All chaos gods. They specialize in demonic rituals, the summoning of demons, and the mutual possession of their own troops. They welcome demons to their bodies.
Okay, so hold on. There's so much here. First of all, I think I said world instead of word bearers. Either one. So this is another one that follows all four gods. And the reason they follow all four gods is because they were trying to turn the emperor into a religion, which the emperor was like, no. And he went to their city and said, and blew it all up. Like, do not worship me. I said no. And they were like, you know what? If you don't appreciate our prayers and our love, we'll just take it to somebody who will. And that will also give us goodies for that. And they just looked at all four gods and goes, you, and you. And you. And in turn, they do get blessings by the looks of this picture. It turned it into a demon, but what's really blowing my mind, it's an awesome shot, but what's really got my attention is the backpack, which is always that typical cylinder thing, has these bone spines with the skull, and it looks like the skull is looking back, like being the extra weird like eyes for this thing. And they're fighting an ultramarine, so I'm gonna assume he's not gonna win this fight, the ultramarine. And now I'm thinking they're all about perfection, so I guess he'll have a perfect death. I know that's really bad of me to say, but I'm wondering if they do that. Like, if they know they're gonna lose, might as well go out perfectly or something. It's a thought. And also, this demon thing, the mouth is like a little gate to hell. You got that fire, like that furnace kind of thing in the mouth. It's just, oh, that's wild.
To fight as one. They exalt the dark gods themselves for aid, and guess what? They answer. In the world of 40K, Satan doesn't just call you back. He hops in his GT Mustang and he crashes on your couch. In the world of 40K, your rituals will end with genuine results. The word bearers know this. They know through sacrifices, through devotion, through dark baptism, the gods will answer and they will be rewarded. So they use it. They bring forth demons. They bring forth possessions. They bring forth the power of the neverborn, the damned, and those that hide in the dark to bear against the Imperium. Lorgar sits there, smiling, as the truth he always knew, the existence of gods and the importance of faith is a reality. And it is a tool he is using to rend the galaxy.
Okay. So, he's also the guy, I believe, that I was mentioning in one video. I was asking about the tattoos. Because I wasn't sure what they were. I give it credit. That's actually smart. It's like, well, I know if I pray to them, they'll give me stuff. Because they actually exist. This isn't theoretical. They are there. Can't fault them for that. Plus, I think it's also a nice way to go F you to the god you tried to create out of the Emperor. But now I'm wondering, were you actually praying to the Emperor in the beginning because you generally believed him to be divine? Or were you just hoping to get some goodies out of it? Because it sounds like they're very opportunistic. Like they really want, give us treat for our prayers kind of type. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. But now I'm excited for this coming up. Salamanders. Now I've heard a little bit from previous videos and from comment section about the salamanders. And I don't know if he's going to show, he's shown the previous artworks before, so I'm going to hope he does. But there was this one where it showed a salamander with the kids, and I love that, but I also like the kitty. But I saw artwork with the salamanders in it, and like kneeling down to pet a cat. It was really cute. My one friend talks to me about salamanders, so that's how I know about them a bit. I've come across, like I said, their artwork, because when you're trying to look up 40K stuff to reference, surprisingly, people like to draw very wholesome pictures with them. So I'm going to take it that they seem to be for the people. So I'm going to assume they're on the Imperium side. They're not chaos. Let's find out.
Stroke, madam. Fire! Exclamation mark. Fire! Exclamation mark. Help me!
The Salamanders. Allegiance, Loyalist.
Yep,
Primarch,
Loyalist.
Vulcan.
Oh.
A Forge Master. A Behemoth. A very huggy boy. Single word descriptor, fire. The Salamanders hail from Nocturne, a volcanic planet home to their Primarch Vulcan. They are the largest of the Space Marines, not due to numbers, but rather size. Vulcan, he is an enormous slab of beef, by far the largest of all the Primarchs. However, don't let his size fool you, as he is also the kindest. Salamanders have the juxtaposition of looking frightening, being larger than other Marines, while also boasting an ashy, like coal color skin and blazing red eyes, while simultaneously carrying around all manner of flame weaponry. So your average civilian might be spooked, but in reality, they are by far the
Kitty. Kitty, look at this. He's got a kitty. It's a white cat too. It's adorable. So I don't know why it never occurred to me. I think a lot of times in fantasy and stuff, salamanders are always associated with fire, and I don't know exactly why. Or I probably know why, but right now my brain's just like, listen, we're on the absorbing information stage. I'm not Rolodexing this for you. I'm not gonna go pull this up out of my brain. And anybody who's like, what's a Rolodex? Google it. It's a phrase I picked up from watching way too many TV shows and movies. But yeah, it's oh wow. So they're all about fire. They're huge, which means if their Primarch's big, they're big. I wonder how big. Like, he showed a picture, but I'm gonna assume like, what, 9 feet? 10 feet? Look really big. And they got like volcanic skin and the blazing eyes, so they're like walking volcanoes. But they're sweet. Well, not like super sweet, but they're the nicer ones. Just with fire.
Kindest of all the legions to those civilians. Vulcan believes that to safeguard the Imperium is to, at the end of the day, safeguard its people. So unlike other legions who put their lives far and above the average human, the salamanders spend significant...
That's the picture. That was the picture I was talking about. He had it in the previous one. This is one with the kids. Now, you can't see the second child because it's behind me. I'm blocking the little girl. But, yeah, this was the picture this is what I think of now when I think of salamanders, I think I'm saying it right, is this, the protector of the people, which makes sense, and they're not wrong. If you want to keep the Imperium alive, you got to keep, the Imperium alive. And what is the Imperium? It is the people. If all the people are gone, there's no Imperium. So, he's not wrong.
More time trying to save them, often taking numerous losses by doing so. They are very independent as well. They're forgers and blacksmiths, maintaining their own weapons and crafting versions of it. They also have the very rare privilege of being able to see their families even after becoming a Space Marine. They care, which is the funny part, because the 7.5-foot tall giant with flaming red eyes who just reduced a traitor to bubbling metal says, "You have nothing to fear, young citizen. Take my hand." If you enjoy fire, melting things, and being the nicer of the Marines, salamanders are for you.
Okay, so, yeah, so... Yeah, they're the nice ones, which I love the fact that they can even see their families. So they have families. Well, it's got to be weird to date one of them guys, huh? Not because they're so big, because, I mean, 7 foot is... I'm sure they'll make it work. But it's just the fact of what they do, and they're fighters, and that's gotta be... It's gotta be crazy. And they gotta have some serious mental strength to be able to go out into the battlefield of 40K and then come home to your family. Ooh, that's wild. And now, I'm not a fan of green, as I've said previously, but I can kind of forgive it for the salamanders. I like them. They're really good. Now, we got the Raven Guard coming up. I'm already happy. I'm seeing black and silver, and I'm a sucker for black and silver, and also, who cannot, love the raven? Or I love a raven. It's like pretty bird. Now I'm wondering, are they? I see a skull on the middle of the helmet. Now I know you guys keep saying the skulls are kind of like the equivalent of a religious symbol for them. I'm gonna assume they're maybe good too. I don't know. I might be wrong. They might be chaos. Let's find out. Oh.
Saga, sneak attacks don't work if you yell it out loud.
The Raven Guard. Allegiance, loyalist.
Oh, I was right. Okay.
Corvus Corax, a raven, a shadow, an industrial dance DJ. Single word descriptor, stealth. The Raven Guard are the final loyalist legion at 19 and hail from the planet Deliverance with Primarch Corvus Corax. If it hasn't been made clear enough...
Hold on. We gotta go back and look at that.
Hail from the planet Deliverance with Primarch...
Look at that. I was so close to drawing him instead of Conrad or even Russ. I was very close. I was tempted, but I did not give in. I went with the Night Lords, but I'm starting to like the Raven Guard. So by the sounds of what he said so far, is they're the stealth group. They're sneaky, and I'm guessing they're really good at it. And I just realized he's got some black wings there. Okay. I'm liking it even more. I'm a sucker for wings. So we got wings. We got this glowing claw thing on his hand, which I'm really liking, and black and silver armor. Okay, yeah. I'm loving everything I'm seeing so far.
Corvus Corax. If it hasn't been made clear enough already, the Raven Guard are stealth specialists and proficient in all manners of assassination. Despite this, their signature winged jump pack and double lightning claw look is, well, not very stealthy. They are named after, of course, the Raven and embody the entire concept of it as a herald of death. They are stealthy, patient hunters that have no problem with waiting and waiting and waiting until the moment to strike is at hand. It's not easy being a stealth faction when your stealth involves people in 1 ton of power armor, but they find a way. That more than anything, it should not be used to show how ridiculous 40K is, even though it is, but rather to show how good the Raven Guard are at their jobs. It's not about them sneaking around you without being seen, but it's also about them having lied in wait for so long that it wasn't until they were in striking distance that you even realized they had been there. And also, if you want, edgelord Marines with a long black haircut, pale skin, ravens everywhere, if you want to field assassins and snipers abound, then the Raven Guard are for you. It could be.
Okay, so they're extremely patient assassins, and it kind of makes them stealthy because you just, if it's been sitting there for days and doesn't move, you just assume, oh, it's just nothing to worry about, and then it's like, surprise. So that's really interesting that they're extremely patient and they're stealthy even despite how they look. Also, I thought about this as he was saying it. You have a Primarch who has long black hair and pale skin. So I'm assuming all of the rest of them will look like him. Or have his features, right? So they all end up with black hair and pale skin. I'm not sure if it'll all be long black hair. I'm not. See, I'm starting to wonder how much of these Marines end up looking like clones of their Primarch, or do they just carry features of the Primarch? See, I thought before it was just carrying personality traits, like I gotta go fast, I gotta, you know, be angry. But now I'm thinking about physical features like the height, the skin color, the hair color. How much of that are they mimicking, or does it just vary from group to group? Let me know in the comments, because I'm kind of curious about that. But I'm not gonna lie, Raven Guard makes me think of the movie The Crow, and I know I love my Night Lords, and I know I love Blood Angels, but this is another wing thing, and it's also a Raven, and I'm starting to like that one too. So I'm just gonna have to go, okay, my checklist. Anything that looks like it's goth, or as some people like to call it, emo. Yes. Just vampire, goth. Yep, right there. That's my criteria. Yep. They fit it. But okay, I like that. And now we're going on to the Alpha Legion. I have never heard of the Alpha Legion. So I'm curious about these guys.
In this very room, it could be you. It could be me. It could even be...
Whoa! What? It was obvious. The Alpha Legion. Allegiance? Heretic.
Oh. Okay.
Primarch, Alfarius, and Omegon.
Oh,
Saboteurs,
the twins.
destabilizers, they're in your walls. Single word descriptor, espionage. Finally, the 20th Legion, the Alpha Legion, led by Alfarius and Omegon. The only Legion to have two Primarchs who were split as twins. The Alpha Legion are heretical, we think, and specialize in destabilization of society and armies. Their entire shtick is the Hydra, because when you cut off one head, two more take its place. All of the Alpha Legion look exactly like their Primarch. Olive skin, shaved head. All claim to be Alfarius. All are liars. They make the largest use of...
Okay, wait. So now I understand. Like, I think it was my very first video. Somebody says, I am Alfarius. And I was just like, that's not what your username says, but okay. Whatever. I didn't understand it. Now I understand what you were doing. Sneaky. You guys like to do that once in a while. Slip a little lore into the comment section, knowing that I don't get it, but that one day I'll remember that and come back and be like, there was a person in the comment section. Yep. So okay, but now I got some questions here. So again, now this is like what I was talking about before. These guys definitely look like their Primarch. So I'm wondering again if this is just depending on the group how much they look like their Primarch. That is one thing. Another thing is if they're twins, why does all of them say they're Alfarius? That guy and not the other twin? Why do they all claim to be him and not the other one? Omega something. Was he just not that popular? I'm genuinely curious. I feel like there's a story here that I'm missing. Because it seems weird if you have twins, you would assume that half of the Legion would call themselves the name of the other twin, and the other part of the Legion would say, I'm this twin. But they all say they're the name of the one twin and not the other. So maybe I'm hung up on that a little much, but I mean, I'm curious. And this picture right here is actually really cool. I like this winter scene. And again, the use of the skulls and armor is always so good to see. Oh, I like this purple lightning too coming out of the eyes. Alright, let's continue.
Sleeper cells and cultists in the Chaos Space Marine factions, because it's extremely easy to take over a planet when you
Poisoned our water supply, burned our crops, and delivered a plague unto our houses!
Where the Raven Guard use stealth and sabotage to eliminate their enemies, the Alpha Legion prefer to weaken them over time with sleeper agents, impersonations, basically anything you can imagine from a hardcore spy movie or Cold War level espionage. Being Alfarius is not only an honor, Being Alfarius is a requirement. There's a story of someone chasing down an Alpha Legion agent for years upon years, and when they finally catch up with them and they see that the agent is wearing the same face as their pursuer, because this was the plan all along, to kill him and take his spot. We're talking facial reconstruction surgery, we're talking hacking, we're talking political assassination and impersonation, everything. They are Space Marines in name only, because being a strong stoic warrior is not what the Alpha Legion is interested in. In fact, the Alpha Legion is interested in you not even knowing that the Alpha Legion is a thing. I am Alfarius. You are Alfarius. We are all Alfarius in his Lord's glorious army. Thank you, everyone.
And that was every Space Marine Legion in a nutshell by Bricky. If you haven't already, check my description. There will be a link to his video. I am sure you guys are subscribed. But if you're not subscribed to him, definitely give him a subscribe and a like. He has taught me quite a bit and ignited my passion for learning a lot about 40K. And for those who might not be aware of my newer videos, I have recently discovered Dreadnoughts and Titans, and I can tell you right now, I am obsessed with the Titan with the castle on its back. I can't remember, and I know you guys keep telling me in the comments what it's called, but I can't remember it. Still, one day it'll sink in. All I know is that that one has definitely become my favorite, but it is being challenged, to my surprise, being challenged by Rogel Dorn's ship. That circular Gothic city with guns in space has blown my mind, and I don't know which one I like better. I want both. I want my giant Titan with the castle on its back, and I want my floating Gothic city. My dark little heart is super happy with both. Anyways, as you can tell, I have become very passionate and in love with 40K. I am excited to find out what is more lore and what is in store, because I keep getting surprised, and I am excited to find out what is going to grab my brain next and get me to want it, besides the giant. I really, really want that giant Titan with the castle. But if you made it to this point in the video, you're awesome, you're rockin', you know it, like I always say, because it's true. And it is also that point in the video. Yes, that point, we have reached it in this full reaction to first say thank you for watching. And now it is time to say, if you liked that video, leave a like and subscribe. And again, I'll say it one more time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. You guys are awesome. And until next time, you all take care. Bye-bye.